You've probably heard by now that Doug Ford has announced Buck a Beer.
It's finally here. We're bringing back a Buck a Beer to Ontario.
Buck a Beer basically means the minimum price on beer is dropping. So it was $1.25 before, and now will drop to $1. This begs the question, why is there a minimum price on beer to begin with? Well, the answer is public health. Increased price reduces alcohol-related deaths. For example, Alaska increased the tax on alcohol twice between 1976 and 2004. Alcohol-related mortality dropped after both tax increases. Now, the reason for a minimum price rather than tax is that a minimum price targets cheap beer, which is what is most often bought to drink in excess. What I mean is, heavy drinkers tend to look for cheaper beer to cut down on costs because they're not necessarily drinking for taste, they're more likely drinking to get drunk. Here's some more interesting data. This is British Columbia. In 2006, the average minimum price was raised and alcohol-related deaths dropped immediately. So when asked whether there was any public health risks to Buck a Beer, here's what Doug Ford had to say.
I think people in Ontario are mature enough. They're mature enough to know when they've had one too many. And if they've had one too many, they know they can't be out there driving or being reckless.
Well, yeah, that sounds nice. Who doesn't like being called mature? But excessive drinking is not done in a vacuum. It doesn't just affect individuals. It also has societal effects. Excessive drinking leads to increased healthcare costs and crimes related to alcohol, such as driving under the influence, which results in car crashes. In Saskatchewan, a minimum price was shown to decrease alcohol-related crime. Researchers found that increasing the minimum price resulted in a reduction in consumption, and police reported alcohol-related crime to be halved. So will Buck a Beer lead to lower cost beers? I mean, I don't know. But I do know that cheap beer isn't the only thing to think about when it comes to minimum pricing. It's also about public health. If you enjoyed this, you might want to subscribe to Village, my weekly newsletter. It's where I share everything you need to know that week in Toronto. So I explain important Toronto news, I cover Buck a Beer, sidewalk labs, bike lanes, city council, and I share hidden gems, unique events, interesting restaurants, that kind of thing. I also publish exclusive stories about the people and places that make Toronto great. You can subscribe at itsonvillage.com. Thanks for watching.